Hey guys, here are the video instructions for Topics in Math, February 17th. Today we're going to talk about the distributive property and using that to solve or simplify an equation. If that phrase scares you, don't worry, I'm going to try to help you guys visualize it to make it as easy to understand as possible. All right, essential question or question you should be able to answer at the end of the day. What is the distributive property and how do I use it? Very good questions. So I'm going to describe what it is, give you some real life applications of the distributive property because I feel like that'll be a great way for you to visualize what it is and how it works. And then the rest of the time will be yours to work on the distributive property assignment, which will be due a week from today, February 24th. Just a reminder on other homework, the 1-2-step equations assignment, if you haven't turned that in already, will be due today. And you guys have 43 more days left until the end of the term, 43 more days till you no longer have to see my face, which, if you're already sick of this class, is great news. All right, so what is the distributive property? Distributive property is really just multiplication. So it's when you're multiplying a group of numbers all by the same number. So for example, in this equation, this x plus 4 is all being multiplied by that 2. In this equation, we have this big group of numbers within the parentheses, and that is all being multiplied by 2. Okay, so it's really just multiplication by a single number to a group of numbers. How do you do this? In 2 easy steps. Step number 1, multiply each number one at a time, starting from left to right. Step number 2, simplify by combining like terms. You might not necessarily have to do step number 2 if there are no like terms to combine, so it might just be one step, which is great news. Okay, normally I save the real life application for after we've kind of done a few examples, but I feel like this will help you visualize the distributive property, especially if you're more of a visual learner and the abstractness of math kind of like throws you off. So, long story short, when I graduated from high school, or not high school, when I graduated from college, I got a really low paying job. And in order to like make rent and everything, I had to do some side hustles. And I used to sell gift jars on Etsy. Like there was a bunch of different themes like spa day in a jar, or sick day in a jar, movie night in a jar. And it was just like really cutesy little gifts that you could get your friends. The most popular one by far that I sold on Etsy was Spa Day in a Jar. And I would take the following items, put it in a jar, and like put a little ribbon around it to make it look like a little gift. I had 3 colors of nail polish, 2 toe separators, like when you paint your toenails and you put the little like foamy things in between so that way your nails don't smudge. 1 face mask, 1 loofah, 2 flavors of chapstick, 6 inches of ribbon to tie on the outside of the jar where I put everything in. Okay, so in order to make this spa day in a jar, those were all the materials I need. So if I were to make that into an equation, it would look something like this. 3 nail polish plus 2 toe separators plus 1 face mask plus 1 loofah plus 2 chapsticks plus 6 inches of ribbon plus 1 jar. If I got 10 orders, I would have to like figure out how many of each item I needed to buy in order to make 10 different spa days in a jar gifts. So I would do this. I would take 10 times 3 nail polishes, 10 times 2 toe separators, 10 times 1 face mask, so on and so forth until I had a complete list of all the materials I would need in order to make 10 spa day in a jar little gift packages. Okay, so hopefully that's enough to help you kind of visualize how the distributive property works and make it a little less scary. Today, what you are going to do is step 1, watch the distributive property video where I go over some examples of how to do this distributive property, which will also be answers on your distributive property assignment. So as you watch step number 2, you might want to follow along on that assignment to get some free answers and to understand how to do the rest by yourself. And there should be, I think, a total of like 3 questions that you'll be doing by yourself after you've watched that video. And if you have any questions or if you're stuck, you can ask on Google Meets. You can call or text the Google Voice phone number, or you can email me, and I can also send you a video of like the specific problem that you're stuck on for that assignment. Step number 4, make sure you completed and turned in the Algebra 1 assignment. And if you have any lingering questions on that, that is absolutely okay to call or text the Google Voice phone number, email me, or stop onto the Google Meets to ask for help on any problems you are still stuck on. Good luck, guys.